and today is January 17th, 2021. Welcome to this morning's meditation. It's really wonderful that you're here to join us, whether you're on with us live or whether you are here later on. This is your experience. And I'm hoping that you join me and that you really have a good experience. So I ask right now, if you will please, just close your eyes and be right here and right now, wherever you may be. If you're sitting down, you may be standing, a comfortable place. This meditation is a meditation to feel alive, to know that within each and every one of us is a divine energy, that life force. So I ask you to begin by inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Each of us breathe at our own special pace. Each of us are individual. And each of us are a gift from the divine to the world. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, feel the divinity, and exhale. If your body at all feels cramped or just stiff or whatever, just kind of relax it. And instead of seeing the body as hard form sitting in a chair, see it and feel it relax. Relax almost like a noodle or a spaghetti that just is beautiful in its own form, but is totally free to move and be. For each of us are a beautiful gift. And today's experience, as is everyone, is an experience to totally be and do. For we are each a divine expression of the Most High. And we are each here for a purpose. No matter what anyone has said to us in the past, including ourselves. No matter what we may think tomorrow will bring, we're here right now for today's experience. Your experience. So I invite you to imagine yourself walking down a pathway. This pathway may be in the woods. This pathway may be marble. And as we walk along, we are very brave, we are very strong, we go forward. And we know that within us, to continue on this path, is already there, the strength, the power. And we imagine ourselves putting our hand out and find that it is grasped by someone else. And we realize that it is not grasped by a human, but it is grasped by the love of the divine mind. And we realize along this journey of life that every step we have taken, where we are now as we walk forward, and in the future as we continue, we will always have the divine mind expressing in, as, and through us. That we truly are never alone, but it is God, universal divine mind, guiding us. And as we walk gently along this path, we feel how smooth it is. It is almost as if we are floating because we are so relaxed, so free, and we are being buoyed along our path by the love of the divine mind, cradling us on life's journey. Any busyness in our mind, any thoughts that seem to be in the way, dissolve, and instead we see that clear golden pathway that is ours here on earth. And we think to ourselves, well, here's a pathway, and it's my pathway. And then the old brain really gets thinking, and we realize, well, if there's a pathway, that means I'm here to do something. That means I'm here for a purpose. That means my life counts. That means that everything I do, I can do to make this world a better place. For we are on a divine path, a path already prepared, beautiful, golden, beckoning. And what we need to do this journey is inside of us. It is the life force of the divine, the God essence expressing, being who we are. So we thought we were going on a little simple walk, but we've really gone on a walk of discovery. And as we walk along, we see that it starts to get dark. And as we look up, we see stars, stars we like, stars we remember as a small child when we would look up and it would seem as if there was no room for sky, there was just stars. That beautiful black sky with the beautiful twinkling stars. So peaceful. And we look up and realize how big the universe is. And that the love that is in us, that the life that is in us, all that is created that universe and is continuing to create that universe. And that my life is continuing to unfold with every breath I take. What a glory it is to be alive, right here and right now. And I look down from the sky and I see another light, not the starlight, but a golden yellow light burning. And as I go along that pathway, I see there is a pathway adjacent that leads to that. And I notice that it is the divine, and it is the divine in a bonfire. And there are stumps of wood, and I sit on a stump of wood and watch the beautiful bonfire, the purple and the blue and the yellow and the red flames. I may see castles or horses, all kinds of things in the flames as they jump. I feel the warmth. And even though the bonfire and the burning of the wood can be perceived as possibly destructive in one form, it also brings warmth. It brings fuel. And it is another purpose of the tree to provide the warmth. And as I see the beauty of that bonfire, I look up a little higher and see how high those flames go. And I see them go higher, and I see the sparks. And the sparks go higher and higher into the sky. And it's beautiful. It's almost like seeing a firework display. And with my eyes, I follow the sparks going higher and higher. And I feel within me my soul, my spirit, letting go. And just as the sparks of the flame, my soul, my spirit becomes higher and higher and higher. I become less and less attached to my physical body and more connected with the reaching of the divine. The freedom of feeling that all is God. The freedom of knowing my life has a purpose. And the freedom of realizing I'm not in this alone. I am a creation of the Most High. I am here for a purpose. My life is good, and I am good. I give thanks for that. I give thanks for that. And as I come down from the flames, I see the flames. And I see the fire, the bonfire slowly turn into just ashes. And yet they too are beautiful, and they're glowing in the light. And I choose to leave that, go back down that little path and onto the main pathway. And I see the dawn, the sun just rising. And so I turn back and I gently walk and I gently float on this pathway toward the dawn, toward the sunlight. I feel the warmth of the day. I feel the beauty of my body, my soul, of who I am, of being alive. And I am here right now. And I choose now to leave the path and be on my chair or wherever I am in the meditation and become aware of what's going on. I am here right now. I am here right now as a beautiful, wonderful creation of the divine, and my day is just beginning, and I give thanks for that. And for this, I give love. I know it is so. I release it to the law, and so it is. And our service will begin at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for honoring me, for joining me in today's meditation. Good morning. I am Reverend Tress Phillips, and this is the Red Deer Center for Spiritual Living, and today is Sunday, January 17th, 2021. Today is a day to celebrate. I'm not quite sure what we'll be celebrating. I just know I'll be celebrating life, and I hope that you choose to celebrate life too. I'm going to be talking about abundance and peace because our theme for January is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. That sounds pretty interesting. So I want to recognize the children. They're not here today, but we do have a word for them, and it is respect. And I'd like to read our little saying about respect. It's a good way to practice respect is to think about how you would like to be treated and then treat others that way. Being respectful is expressing even your strongest feelings in a peaceful way, speaking quietly and courteously. Practicing self-respect is treating yourself as you feel others deserve to be treated. You deserve to be treated too. And the affirmation is, I treat others and myself as we deserve to be treated. So if you repeat with me, I treat others and myself as we deserve to be treated. And now if you will join me with our opening affirmation, it is actually inside of, you have a little sheet when you come in, you can pick it up. And today's affirmation is, today all things are made new. I choose to release old beliefs that have limited my experience of good. I know myself as unlimited possibility, ready to express life with greater joy, greater love, and greater creativity. I accept that all good is available to me, and so it is. All good is available to me, and so it is. So welcome. Welcome and enjoy. So we're exploring basic principles. And so what are basic principles? Well, pretty simple. God is, I am. God is, I am. Sounds pretty simple. So every breath that I take means that I'm alive. Now I know we have to breathe to be alive, but I still don't know about that breath, where it comes from. I saw my one grandchild be born, and I saw this human be born. But then I saw the, and I saw, hey, that's a whole new little person there. That's a whole new little person with the whole world ahead of them because they took that breath of life. And where did that breath of life come from? Well, if you know, please tell me, because I'm still to me it's a very divine gift, life, but seeing it actually enter a body once someone was born, I feel pretty lucky I was able to see that. So life is coming from God in my mind, and we all have our own words, divine mind, universal mind. There's a certain word that fits us, and that is your word, however you connect. But acknowledge that everything through me is God. It's divine mind. Everywhere I look, I see the face of God. And that's true. Each person here, there is the divine God essence expressing. Everyone I meet outside as we drive here and we go through the drive-through to get our morning breakfast that at least a third of the time isn't what we ordered, but sometimes we get a surprise package, and life's about surprise packages, and there you go. But everyone I see there is a gift from God. The animals I see around me, they have the same breath of life I do. So how can I not see them, in my way of seeing, as a gift from God? So I feel pretty darn lucky to be right here, right now, surrounded by gifts from God, and I'm one of the gifts from God. So what in the heck am I going to do about it? Well, every once in a while we get a little bit knocked off our center. Sometimes we get bulldozed off our center of, oh, this is the way things are supposed to be. I know how to live my life this way, and boom, something happens. But you know what? We're still breathing. If we're still breathing, that means the life in us is the divine mind still expressing. I may get up a little slower than others, or I may get up a little faster than others. It doesn't matter. There's no race. If there was a race, where in heck are we racing to? What's at the end of the race that's so great that we don't already have here? And if we're always in a race to beat everybody else and do better than everybody else and whatever and be in the material, what is it we've really missed along the way? I know for parents who have worked, and I always worked, there were many things that I did not see as a parent. And I cannot see those again because I was working. What is it I'm missing? Am I taking the time to experience, to be, to live? And importantly, in my mind, am I taking the time to see the beauty of every single human that comes into my life? Some of them may believe something I don't like. Well, that's good. That means their brain's thinking and my brain's thinking, so we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. A lot of people I don't understand, and you know what? They're looking at me and they're saying, I don't know about that person there. I don't understand them. And you know what? That's okay too. Isn't it exciting? We can all be so different and still get along. So we're all on a spiritual journey, each one a little bit different. So what's happening? What is this spiritual journey? It's divine mind. It is a creative field that is in each and every one of us. Each of us have the power of the divine to create and make this world right here, right now, a better place. And a lot of it is through taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's what we can do. In the morning, I do readings. I get up really early and I do readings. And there is a little bookmark I got that I'll tell you, that little bookmark really means a lot to me. And I know the poem off by heart, but I wrote it down because I want to make sure it's right. It's today I begin again, Lord, by giving thanks to you. Today I will remember, Lord, you're with me in all that I do. Today I will deal with the present, Lord, not the future, not the past. Today I will tackling one thing at a time, Lord, one problem, one challenge, one task. Today I will be kind and generous, Lord, toward everyone I meet. Today I will have faith, Lord, let go of worry and just be. In other words, I'm alive today. The world around me is alive. I choose to see God, and I choose to let go of worry, let go, let God, be creative, and live my life. All in a little piece of paper. A bookmark, $2.95. I've had it for years. A whole description of my path. So how is our path, our journey described? And we may be on the straight and narrow, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to be, and ta-da, life happens. And we may have to take a little bit of a detour. But you know what? On that detour, there's going to be things on that detour that we may have been afraid of. But those things may be beautiful learning experiences. And some of those things on this little detour that we didn't want to take are things that we will always love. And we will find, I like this pathway a lot better than that pathway. We are here, we change, we grow, and that's okay. That's who we are, that's what we're meant to be. So today, let us imagine a reality that the holy creativity of mind flows through us in an uplifting direction. See ourselves as a kite that flies, that the wind is always there to carry us on our life's journey. We might do the dip and the dance of life, but there we are up there. And yes, we have the cord, the string of that keeps the kite up there. But that string is our connection to the divine. We are always anchored in the divine, knowing that in us is what we need to continue. That in us is a guidance and inner knowledge that we know what we are doing is the right way, and if we find it's not working, that inner guidance will show us a new way. Or teachers will come along the way to teach us. Have you ever noticed all these neat teachers that come along the way? Some of them are, I told you so kind. Some of them we might not like at first, and then we realize, hey, you know, I really learned from that person. And the funny thing is, as we are taught and learn, if we turn around in our life, there behind us are our students, people who are learning from our way of life, people we are spreading our knowledge to. So us who are parents, grandparents, all know what it's like, that we did not want to listen to what the parents said. We became parents. Our children did not want to hear what we said, right? Now that we're grandparents, Who knows who wants to hear what we say? But as you get older, you tell them anyway, and you couldn't care less, because that was an important part that you learned from. Always learning. We have the teachers, we are the pupil, but we also have our students. It's called life, the beauty of life. The one thing I do know, that each of us are perfect, whole, complete, perfect, whole, complete in the divine mind, God, universal mind, that creative force that put that life in each of us. We were created here for a purpose. We are each divine. That our life is, has been, and always will be, because we are the divine expressing. So are we allowing ourselves to experience this, to see it, life through the eyes of God? I believe so. But do we feel that comfort? The comfort of meditation, the comfort of feeling connected, is a peace that no one else can give you. It is an indescribable peace, and each and every one of us, through meditation, through a little quiet time, through just letting go and realizing, I am breathing, I am alive, I am connected. Know that we are one with God. So let's get our intentions and move forward and trust that what we need is there for us to learn, to be, to experience. But you know what? Spirit can only give us what we can take. So how big is my bucket? And when I thought of that, I got thinking of, okay, is it a bucket of chicken? Or is it the song, I remember as a little girl, there's a hole in my bucket. So do I have a hole in my bucket? My bucket is, how am I getting what the divine is giving me? To me, if I had a hole in the bucket, that means that I'm feeling negative. That means I'm doing the, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah. I know maybe, yeah, sure, but not for me. That doesn't work for me. Well, it's not going to work for me if I say it's not going to work for me. And the more I whine and carry on, the bigger the hole in the bucket's going to be. The guy next to me is going to have this huge bucket of whatever, joy, peace, love. And I'm going to be over here with a empty bucket, and I'm going to be complaining, making it more and more of a negative experience. Isn't it marvelous we have the choice to think positive or negative? And isn't it wonderful that divine mind, God, expresses through us as we think? Therefore, I can change my thinking. I can change my life. And by changing my thinking, changing my life, and it may take a lot of patience, change my thinking every day, a little bit better, change my life, change it every day. And the way I will treat the world and see the world and be in the world will be better. And that way I can make the world a better place. Why not go that journey? Feel the peace, the love, and the joy. You see, divine mind, God is already in us. It always will be. We can't go back, we can't go forward. God is I am, plain and simple. So where is my attention? Where's my identity? Like I said, I used to work, so my identity for many, many years was around the job I did. My identity had to do with very strict time restraints. Whatever is wrapped up with the job at that time, that was my identity. Being a parent, that can be an identity. I have a family member who's into classic cars. Part of that person's identity is having the 1934 Graham vehicle. Who has this car? Who can talk here? Who can trade this part for that part? And the guy in Wyoming knows this, and the guy in Northwest Territories has that part. That is their reality. What is our identity? Is it who we are online? Remember the glory days of our youth. Is that our identity? The list goes on. But the true identity is it is divine mind in us, as us, through us. And as we live and express this identity, we are expressing God, creative mind. Sometimes we're a little bit afraid. I know I have fears. And just in the last few days, I've been reminded of fears and how some people in my life have actually faced these fears. So I want to talk about the banger man, B-A-N-G-E-R, banger man. The banger man lived at our house, and the banger man was real to my son, who's now 41, I believe, and he was a little fellow with the little Winnie the Pooh sheets on his bed, like this little stinker. And one night he woke up screaming and told me all about the banger man. And the banger man lived behind his bed, and he had a headboard, and the banger man would come out over the headboard, come down, and just wallop him on his head, and he would wake up. That was real to him. He kept having dreams. And there were 3 serious banger man dreams he remembered. And these dreams lasted, well, it was from having little Winnie the Pooh sheets right up to having the Star Wars character sheets on his bed. So 2 or 3 years, he had banger man visit him every once in a while. It'd be the same thing. And he would swear up and down he was physically hit in the head by this banger man. So then came the day that this little fellow realized, hey, the banger man came, and he just beat the heck out of that banger man in his dream. In his dream, he took care of that banger man, and that banger man never came back. So there was a part in him that he knew that he could conquer that fear. We're talking a little fellow. He might have been, 8 by then, 9 by then. Innocent children facing their fears. So do I have banger men in my life that I'm afraid of to face? If a little fellow can take care of it, why can't I? But then, oh my goodness, family reunion, right? We all have the family reunions, and most of us living in this area have someone who had a farm at one time, and we'd go to the farm to visit. So the cousins and I and the grown-ups all go to the farm, and there was Carl the killer turkey. He was a turkey that was huge. He was a turkey that the parents would say, don't go near that turkey. All of us children were afraid of that turkey. We stayed clear of that turkey. The adults stayed clear of the turkey, except the little fellow called Dean. Only he wasn't just Dean, he was a little fellow, he knew who he was. He was young, I'm the littlest, I'm cute, and my name is Deanie Dodo. So Deanie Dodo saw that turkey, and Deanie Dodo decided, okay, that turkey's in my way. Adults afraid. All of the teenagers down to about the 5-year-olds afraid. Here we go, little Deanie Dodo. He takes a stick, he walks through, Here comes Carl, the killer turkey, and he takes that stick and just like a lasso, he swings it over his head and he marches forward. Well, that turkey got out of the way and never bothered him ever again. Little fellow, he hadn't learned to be afraid yet. So what are we afraid of? What is it we are afraid of? Charles Fillmore, one of the people we study, says, "It is the childlike mind that finds the kingdom." Dini Dodo found the courage of the divine to go through and face that fear that everybody else, adults included, were afraid of. Become like children and allow ourselves to be connected to the divine spirit. You see, these innocent minds are still in touch with the divine connecting with us. They haven't learned about the fears, the time restraints, that this is the rule, there's this and that. You see, life is just so interesting. Now, back in the day, in the balance, we think of balance. And I think of the words back in the day. For my parents, back in the day could have been the Depression. It was definitely World War II. And for me, back in the day would have been the youth. It would have been all of the freedom of the era when it was the Woodstock era. That was part of my back in the day. Today, so it's a time period. But like life, everything's flexible. Because like what my little grandson said, that we laughed so hard at, is going to a movie like back in the day. Back in the day now is 10 months ago when the first restrictions started with COVID. We want things like before, like back in the day. But each day's a new day. And down there, we'll look at what we did today, and that's going to be back in the day. So there are no really strict rules of what is going to always stay. The thing is, it's creation. It is God. It is divine mind expressing in me, as me, through me. So God is, I am, all is well. So our spiritual balance is allowing ourselves the moments of truth and awareness of what is important to ourselves to complete our journey and what is important in life. What areas can we improve? Reality is the divine is always there expressing. And in the Bible it says, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. What is your truth? God is, I am, all is well. So acknowledge something profound in yourself. Think of something in you that is special. Things only you alone can do, woodworking, whatever. Writing, singing, dancing, reading, I don't know. But you know what it is. What makes your heart sing? It is the connection to the divine. And divine knowledge is always there for us. We can always learn, we can always change. So today I choose to be grateful for my life. I choose to be grateful for all the stories that others tell me that I learn from. And it's such a joy to see little things. These little children come and teach through their faith and their courage. Sometimes they're my best teachers. So God is. I am. All is well. And as the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. So what is it you want in life? Are you asking for it? And if you're asking for it, are you ready to receive it? So my conclusion is, I know for myself, and I know for you, that you are one with the divine. And so it is. And Reverend Judy will be doing the closing today, so thank you for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be with you, if you're here in person or if you're with us on Facebook or on YouTube. Thank you for lending your spirit, your consciousness to our center. So let's read our prosperity affirmation together, if you have it. My experience of abundance fills and overflows, washing away any need to hold my good to myself. And so I share and let the good flow freely, knowing that as I give, I am constantly replenished. I count my blessings and live from a grateful heart. Life is good, so am I, and so it is. And if you wish to share with the center, then you can go to our website, basically cslreddeer.org, and there is a donate button there. If you wish to donate, anyone who is here, we have a basket up front. Just drop your envelope in the basket when we conclude the service. Now let's go to our closing affirmation. This day, I know that the perfection of spirit is active in my body and in the body of my affairs. I am well, wise, prosperous, and joyous. Anything unlike this truth gently falls away from my experience, leaving me free to love my life, and I do, and so it is. And so just a few words of closing prayer, closing spiritual mind treatment. Please join me. I know the good of this day because I know that God is in this day. God at the center of everything, God as everything, God in, through, and as me, God in, through, and as you. And as we know this truth and live from it, live from an attitude of gratitude, a desire to give, a desire to live more fully, then this is what comes into our experience. I give thanks. I am grateful. I am in love with life, with God, with all that is. This is my truth. This is my way. And so I release these words into that infinite law that acts upon my words, that acts upon my intentions, upon my dominant thoughts, my dominant feelings. And as I do so, that law brings my truth into experience. And so I say once again, thank you. I release my word, and so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.